everybody, and welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you've seen me in this outfit before, it's because I just finished another video and I'm starting another, so I didn't change. So you will be seeing this in 2 videos in a row, but it's just the intro. This week we're doing things a little bit differently. I feel like I'm reaching burnout. I've already read 85 books this year where I'm currently at. I am slightly pre-filming this, so it's August now. I'm not sure when you guys will see this video, probably in September, but where I am now, I'm 85 books into the year. I'm reaching a little bit of burnout. I can feel it because nothing's really sparking my interest as much as I wanted to. I haven't found a 5-star in a while. Everything I've been reading is like a 3 or 3.5. So I'm just going to give myself time to relax a little bit and not put too much pressure on this. However, in saying that, and what today's vlog is going to be is I'm currently in the middle of 3 books, hence why I'm saying nothing is really keeping my attention, and I just want to finish them. I just want to move on from these things and just, you know, pick up some better book, in my opinion anyway. The books that I'm in the middle of at the moment is 1 on my Kindle and then 2 physicals, and you would have seen these 2 physical books in my previous video where I was reading 150 pages a week. I think that didn't help with my state of mind right now because I'm tired. I'm tired of reading like mediocre books, in my opinion. In saying that, the first book we have here is Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. This is the 4th book in the Magnolia Parks universe. I personally do not enjoy the Daisy side of things. I much prefer the Magnolia part of things. I feel like it's more fast-paced and it feels more present. This feels like Daisy keeps going back into the past and thinking of past events, and we're not currently with her where she is now. And I know Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates, they run concurrent to each other, so I feel like the way this was written was completely different to the way that Magnolia Parks was written, where you feel more present and going through things with the characters rather than Daisy just retelling a bunch of things. I find Daisy's character really whiny and pretty annoying. Like, she's insufferable in my opinion. So she's still young, I guess, but still it's just not gripping me. I'm currently on page 167, chapter 25. We're on Julian's chapter, and if you don't know, this covers Julian, Daisy, and Christian. So we have 3 different points of views in this. Daisy's point of view, like I said, is so boring, and I enjoy the rest of them because I really do like Christian and I really love Julian and him. And if you know a certain character, they've just got together, and that's why I'm reading this book, to be honest with you. But Daisy's parts are boring. It's long, it has footnotes, and I just feel like I'm not enjoying it to the extent that I thought I would, because the previous Magnolia books, The Long Way Home, I absolutely loved that book. I ate it up. It was much longer than this book and I read it in about 3 days. This I've been going on maybe 5 days now and I still haven't even made it halfway. But that's the first book we're in the middle of, so we're planning to hopefully finish all of these this week. The second book I'm in the middle of, because I just wanted to break up my reading with Daisy Hates, is This Woven Kingdom. I want to complete the series, but I can't really remember what happened in this book. But if you don't know, it follows our main female character, Eliza, who is a maid. I wouldn't say a slave. She's a maid in, I don't know, it's an area called Ardunia. It is fantasy. She is actually a race called Jinn, and in Middle Eastern culture, a Jinn is usually a ghost, so, or a poltergeist even. So anyway, she's a Jinn who is like more powerful than humans, who are called clay. And Jinns have abilities. They can go invisible. They're super strong. They're super fast. So the clay people, or the humans, are trying to eradicate them from their society. But the current king, the sovereign king at the moment, he was given a prophecy that someone would kill him or ruin him who has ice in her veins, and we've just found out a few things, and Eliza is now being hunted. The prince, he kind of met her, and he's the reason why she's been put in the public eye, and he feels really bad and he doesn't want her to die because he thinks she's really beautiful, she's really nice, she's really smart and all these things, and he doesn't want anything to happen to her. So he's kind of trying to intercept it, but he really can't because it's treason. So that's kind of where we're at here. I'm really enjoying it upon my reread, much more so than I did before. Before, I just felt like the writing is super embellished, which it is. It's reading a little bit better, I think, now that I've completed the Shatter Me series, and I'm not comparing the two. I finished the Shatter Me series a few months ago, so I'm not comparing the two anymore, and I'm just reading this for what it is. And it is embellished, it is super pretentious, and I do have to research some of the words, but ultimately I'm having a good time. I really like the font in this. It doesn't make my eyes tired like Daisy Hates. I find the font in here actually makes my eyes kind of cross over, and it's kind of small, I think. So I'm just enjoying this one a little bit more, which is why I picked it up in between. And also I wanted wanted to read These Infinite Threads. So like I said, I needed to just catch up. So I might read that in one of my next videos. But this is the second book we're in the middle of. And then the last book I'm in the middle of, I think there should be one more book I'm in the middle of, which we'll talk about later. The next book I have is The Reckoning by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti, which is the third book in the Zodiac Academy series. And unfortunately, I like the premise and I'm excited to see what happens, but I think that things are just dragging along now. I'm finding them very like drawn out and very verbose and unnecessarily descriptive where they don't need to be descriptive. So I've been struggling to get through this. I've probably been reading it for about a month, I want to say, and it's like the chapters are extremely long, like maybe 45 minutes a chapter. But anyway, I'm currently 33% through the book, which is page 182 out of 562 pages. So I stopped in the middle of a chapter. That's when you know like my interest isn't being held anymore, but I really just want to finish it because I know something big is happening in this book and I can't wait to see that. So I think that's why I'm just being impatient and I just want to finish it. So that is the next book I'm in the middle of. And then I'm in the middle of, or almost at the end of, Iron Flame. I'm also doing a little reread of that, but I'm just listening to it on audiobook. So those are the 4 books we will be covering hopefully this week. It is Monday today and we'll be going till next week Monday. So hopefully I can make some headway on this. I do have some other things that I'm doing. If you don't know, I started a blog kind of running through my running through my yachting career and what happened. If you don't know, I did get diabetes and unfortunately I lost my job. I've now been out of work for about a year. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out. The more my videos get pushed out, the better things will get, especially for me. But yeah, I did start a blog. I will put all the things in the description bar, so please do go have a look. It's again free to subscribe and you just read along with me. Once a week I do a post. I've done my introduction and then I have started my chapter 1 now, which kind of just covers how to start yachting, how I got started in yachting, and it's just a fun little project that I'm doing. I just felt like I needed to do it. I wasn't sure if it was a manic episode or if it was something that I really needed to do because it just came to me one day and I was like, I really just want to do it, and it felt really cathartic. I've so far already written like 5 or 6 posts, so I only post once a week. So I've written 5 or 6 posts. So this week I've given myself time to just write some more and see where it takes us. But please do go subscribe there if you haven't already. It's on Substack, but like I said, the link will be down below. But with that being said, I'm going to get on with my day and then I will let you guys know when I start reading, because this is also just going to be a realistic reading week in my life and just hoping to finish some books that I'm in the middle of. With that being said, I'll see you guys very soon. This is the longest intro ever, but if you stuck around, thank you so much. Hi guys, again, sorry for the lighting. I didn't plug in my big light again. It's just such a mission to keep moving around the room. I used to have it like stationary on this one side of my room with my desk shifted, but because I don't really do makeup videos anymore, I've just left my layout quite open. So it's a mission to just keep moving it around. So I hope you guys don't mind. And I know I haven't seen many actual booktubers who use ring lights that often, so I'm just following suit. No, I'm lying. I'm just being lazy. But I just finished writing a blog post. I printed out some of my other blog posts as well, just to like read them through and keep them all together. I wrote my 6th one now, and I'm just reading through all of them and seeing if my continuation and kind of my tone is the same, because what I've written about now is a little bit serious, because if you don't know, there is a case that just happened on super yachts that is quite huge. It happens more often than not always fatally, but it does happen all the time. So I just addressed some of those stuff. So I try to still keep my tone light, but it's still something very serious. As females, we're not as protected as we should be in my industry, or my old industry, not there anymore. So it's still fairly early. I made myself some nice like chicken and vegetable soup. It's very watery though, so I'm actually feeling a little bit peckish already, but that's kind of what I've done so far. It took me a really long time to write that post, so I did that, and it took me longer than I expected. It probably took me around 2.5 hours to write one post. So yeah, and that was just like the first draft. I will read it again before I post as well. So that is done. I think now, because it is a rainy day, hence why I just put my dressing gown over all my clothes. It's freezing today, and my cozy hobby for rainy days is doing a puzzle. So I might actually just, because I haven't touched my puzzle in a couple of weeks because the weather's been nice and I've been sitting outside in the sun, because if it's sunny I cannot be cooped up inside. I refuse. So So now it's raining again. I'm going to listen to maybe an hour of my audiobook and do my puzzle, and then I will get to reading some of these tonight, I think, because I like nighttime reading a bit more because I just feel like I'm always doing lots of stuff during the day. So let's do that, and then I will probably try and read 50 pages of each of these, and then maybe a chapter of this, because the chapter in this is like 45 minutes, so an hour should get me a chapter on each of these. It's Monday today, so YouTube is very lacking on a Monday. There's no real like good videos, so I usually read a bit earlier on Monday nights. I usually try to read from about 8 or 9 till 11, and then I have an hour to usually watch like Big Bang Theory, Schitt's Creek or something like that to fall asleep to. So that's usually what I do, but I think tonight we'll try and aim for like maybe 6:30 to start reading, since we have 3 books to cover. I don't know if I might pick one and just try and finish it, or I might read all 3 at the same time. I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm in the mood in, but I am definitely in the mood to listen to Iron Flame. I really like that series. I don't know why everybody hates on it, but the first time round I also listened to it on audiobook, so I feel like I forget things because I listen to so many other audiobooks. So I just thought I wanted to listen to it again, so I'm going to do that while doing a puzzle for a bit, and then we will get down to reading. I am still fully dressed. I don't have my jammies on yet, but just I'm cold and I don't want to wear my big pink comfy right now. I'm gonna do a hot water bottle and then go do my puzzle. So that is just the check-in for now. Where's my phone? For Iron Flame, I am currently, it just says part 2. I don't know which chapter I have, but this says it's 37 minutes left. Chapter 38. I'm on chapter 38 now. So yeah, listen to this for a bit and then I will update you guys. I really hope my mic will work. Sorry if my hair's wet. I just got out the shower. Honestly, guys, this morning was a little bit of a fail. So I woke up early, did my Bible study, the usual morning things. And then when I was eating breakfast, I decided to just like do some of my puzzle. And I ended up doing it for 3 hours. And I ended up completing the Iron Flame reread that I was doing. So I'm definitely going to listen to the next book next if I can find it, which is Onyx Storm, which I'm very excited about. And I just have a little bit of my puzzle left to do. I'll put in some b-roll there. I think I might be going a bit slumpy. I'm not sure, but it feels like it. I just am finding any excuse not to read. Last night I did read about 50 pages of This Woven Kingdom. I got to page 237, chapter 21. So I did read quite a bit of that, but I'm going to try again this evening. And then this morning and last night I read 1 chapter of the Zodiac Academy, The Reckoning, and then this morning I read a single chapter as well. I was going to read the second book. I was going to read This Woven Kingdom as well, but then for some reason, like I said, I just got carried away. So haven't done any of that. I just started watching a new anime as well, and I'm obsessed. So I'm going to finish the season now before I start reading, because I'm just not in the headspace. I was meant to write a bit today, but I'm feeling slumpy with that as well. I just feel like my flow isn't quite there. So I'm just allowing myself to feel however I need to feel today. But tomorrow we'll definitely get back on track. Although my mom's got the day off work, so I'm probably going to do something with her. In the Zodiac Academy, I am currently on chapter 14, page 216. So that means I read about 36 pages of this. The chapters are so long. This current chapter, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but if you look down there, it's 1 hour and 5 minutes. Like, what can they possibly say? But anyway, I usually mostly read my Kindle at night. night. Anyway, we are making headway. I am going to do my skincare and watch some anime, and then I will update you guys possibly tomorrow or the next day. I'm not going to pop in every single day if I have no progress. So let's try and make some progress and then I'll pop in. I'm not sure how long this video will take, but I just want to finish these books that I'm in the middle of. So I also need a little break and just to slow down, because either I'm reaching burnout at the moment or I'm literally slumping. But anyway, this is my little update for now. Hi everyone, sorry for the way I look. I literally just got back from my walk and then I started reading because I only had about 40 pages left of This Woven Kingdom, but I finally finished it. I really enjoyed it so much more this time around. I feel like when I read it before, I might have been slumping a little bit, or I didn't understand the writing, but now it came to me so easy, and I actually didn't remember the story from the first time I read it, so it was so much better this time around, and I'm gonna give this a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. I love I think it's Persian mythology if I'm not mistaken, but I love those references and like the Middle Eastern teas and fruits, and the descriptions were really good. I do feel like the writing was very much embellished, and it felt like she sat with a dictionary and was just looking up ulterior meanings, which she didn't have to do, but I do understand as well that they were royalty, so, and in this time period they spoke differently, so with that in mind it did match up. So I really enjoyed this so much more than I thought I would. I cannot wait to pick up the next book, so definitely click subscribe so that you can see me read that book too. As I discussed, I don't want to harp on about it too much, but it is basically a servant girl who is actually a queen. Well, she is next in line to be the queen, but she needs to do this ritual before she takes the crown, and in the society that she's living in, they have their own sovereign, and the king doesn't want her to rule all these people, which are jinn, to come to power again, because they do possess magical powers. It's very interesting, very rich in culture, and very descriptive. I really enjoyed this, so 4-star. Then I noticed that it's not the first time, but this is the second Daisy Hates book I've read, and every time I start reading those books I go slumpy. I don't know what it is about the books. I just get really bored, I think, especially because the first half of the book is usually just a recap. So I don't want to read that right now because I'm scared I'll go into a slump. So I think next we're gonna attack a Zodiac Academy, The Reckoning. I'm bored of this as well. It's just getting very boring and quite repetitive. I'm finding that everything is just happening so slowly. The pacing is completely off. Also, sorry if you can hear our bar fridge going. It's just turned on, of course, because I'm talking, and there might be an echo in here because it's just tiled. But anyway, I'm not enjoying this. I'm actually using it as like my nighttime read at the moment, but I just want to finish it because it's been like maybe 3 or 4 weeks that I've been reading this, and I'm not even at 50%. Last night I read just a chapter and I got to 45%, so I'm on chapter 15 now, and page 249. We're only on chapter 15. Honestly, these chapters are way too long. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue the series. We'll see how this one ends because they progressively get longer, and I think the descriptions are just, it's too much. Like, it doesn't need to be as descriptive as it is. Like, I understand that they're trying to set the scene, but some instances we don't need that much description. So I'm getting really bored. So I think this might be the last book in the series that I actually read. So this is book 3, but we'll see how it ends. I don't want to say that and then I actually continue it, but right now I'm feeling like I'm not enjoying it to the fullest extent. It's just taken me so long and I'm bored. Nothing is happening. So they're leading up to the reckoning, which is kind of their entrance exam. They have a trial period where they learn things and then their magic is tested. So both twins obviously haven't had their order come out yet, so they have orders and they can transform into different beasts. Their order hasn't come out, and in this book it's supposed to, but I'm assuming it's just going to happen at the end. But we don't really see any of the examinations being done. We kind of just see them fighting with the heirs and being friends with the other people. Like, I understand that, but it feels like the plot is just losing the plot. Not really loving this right now, but I'm going to read this next. We'll see how far we get, and then we'll do Daisy Hates as the last book in this video, because honestly that's really making me feel super slumpy. Hi friends, I'm so sorry about the mess behind me. I literally need to clean my room. This morning I woke up, I had to finish my blog post, and then I also had to go for my walk. So I did an hour walk today, which was really nice. I needed it. Yeah, I just thought I'd check in quickly because I haven't actually checked in over the weekend. On Friday I literally didn't read a single thing. I read nothing. And then last night, for some reason I started reading at like 12 o'clock and I read until like maybe 4 in the morning, and I got to 77% in the Zodiac Academy, book 3, and I am on chapter 29. It's getting more interesting now. After the 60% mark, it's really picked up, but I don't feel like it's worth reading a whole 60% of a book that you do not like in order to get to like the last 40% that you do like. Like, I just feel like I don't know if I'll continue this series. I'm really bored. It is all free on Kindle Unlimited, so I mean, I have time. If I don't want to finish it now, I don't have to, and I can pick it up at a later stage. So that's just my update for now. I'm not enjoying it. I hate the constant, like, it feels like a lot of repetition is being done, and there's pointless details. Like, we don't need to go through every little bit of their day with them. I appreciate the fact that they go to the toilet, they eat, they shower, and all of that. I do like that, but sometimes they go into so much detail about things that don't matter to the plot, and I'm just getting really bored. Like I said, I'm at 77% now, so I think I will finish this today and I will let you guys know tomorrow my star rating. Probably going to be sitting at around a 3 or even a 2.5, but I have been reading this book for a month, so I think that could be the reason why I'm not having a great time as well. But anyway, after this we will be finishing Daisy Hates, The Great Undoing, which I'm also not looking forward to because that book makes me feel so slumpy. But anyway, that's just the update for now about where I am in the book we're reading. I just feel like I haven't picked up the camera in so long, and I don't feel like this is the best video because I'm really not having the best time. I guess I did like this Woven Kingdom quite a bit, more than I liked it the first time around. The rest of the books are just making me feel super slumpy. But anyway. Good morning guys. Oh my gosh, my battery's dying again. I swear I'm charging this thing like every 2 days and I'm not even filming that much. It is Monday today, so we've officially been doing this for 7 days. I'm cutting off the top of my head. Let me adjust that because I hate editing it and looking like that. So now it's slightly tilted because my camera's tilted up, so I'm sorry if you like symmetry, but there is none to be seen here. For some reason my Kindle is not displaying covers at the moment. I don't know what's going on with it. Honestly, I can't keep up with this thing. It's honestly always doing something weird. But anyway, I finished Zodiac Academy late last night and I gave this a 3-star. I was hoping that it was going to get better. As I said, I look like I have an Adam's apple, but it's just the creases in my neck. I'm getting sidetracked. I was hoping that the series would slowly get better because there was one plot point that I was actually really looking forward to in this specific book, but I just felt like the entire story was way too drawn out. Like I said before, there's details that we don't need to know. We don't need to know everything they eat, everywhere they go. Like, that doesn't pertain to the plot line, and I feel like it was a lot of filler in there, and I was bored. I did give it 3 stars still, which means I would recommend, depending on your your reading taste, but it wasn't my actual favorite, and it wasn't that memorable. It took me almost a month to read this, which could be the contributor to why I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought, but still, I found myself getting frustrated, and I started skimming because I was just like, get to the freaking point. Like, why are we circling on this and it actually means nothing towards the plot line? Something happened with one of our characters as well that I really liked, and he flipped, and for me, why did they do that? What relevance does it have to the later story? So I'm not entirely sure if I will continue the series. They're all on Kindle Unlimited, so there's a possibility at some other point if I want to pick them up, if I kind of remember what's going on. I've seen that all the audiobooks have now been removed from Spotify. They were on there for free, but now it's looking like they've been taken down, which sucks because this is an indie published book. I get it, but still, I just thought, I don't know, it was handy since I pay a subscription and stuff. It should be available. But anyway, they took them all off, so I'm not sure if I will remember the series when I decide to pick it up at a later stage. But for now, I have a lot of other books on my bookshelf that are more interesting than this. And like I said, I just joined Book Sirens as well. So Book Sirens gives you like indie author arcs, so that is more compelling than this was. So it was over 500 pages and a lot of nothing, and when we did get to the points, it was kind of whizzed over. Like I said, they had all these trials that they had to do to pass the reckoning, which is the name of the book, and it's kind of like an assessment. So I just felt like that wasn't gone to like in depth with as I would have liked, like Hunger Games or whatever, and you know, you explain those trials, which I felt like the book would be centered around, but it wasn't. It's more of like a day in the life. Like it just follows them through a week, and it's too much. Anyway, I've said enough. I did have fun on the fun parts, but I do love like the romance side of things. I'm curious to see what happens there, but it gave me whiplash because it was like yay, nay, yay, nay, yay, nay, and I was like, come on, like, can we not make a decision here? But I've harped on enough about this. 3 stars, not my favorite. The previous book was definitely my favorite in the series so far, which is book number 2. I gave that one a 4 stars, so I'm quite disappointed. But anyway, moving on, our last book that we need to complete this week is Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, and unfortunately I have no want to read this book. There's nothing compelling about it. I'm finding it also very boring, so it looks like we may go into a slump after this, but I have a very exciting video, well, exciting for me, planned for after this, so I just want to get this done. I am going to try and finish this in the next couple of days. We'll see. This week I have a lot of editing and a lot of admin and a lot of reading to do, where last week I kind of just gave myself the week to think about my blog, which is down below if you want to read that. I've mentioned it before, but I do also write for my own blog, and it's more like an autobiography about my life and yachting, so if you're interested in that. But that was what I gave myself time to do last week. I didn't get as much done. I feel like I hit a little bit of a wall because we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the whole blog, so it's quite daunting to write about. So I just gave myself some time, but this week definitely going to dedicate to this channel and do all my editing. I have 2 videos to edit and then also a lot of reading. So I am I just did all my morning bit, so I just need to have a couple of sips of my coffee that's left, and then I will take myself on my walk because I really do need to go for a walk. It helps me with my mental health. And I'm also just going to pop into the library on my walk because it's literally just around the corner from my house. So I'm going to pop into the library, see if there's anything else I want to add to the next video, because yeah, we'll see. But I just want to have a squiz and see if there's any new books there. So I'm going to have a squiz at the library, do that, and then I'll do my home workout, and then I'm going to get to editing. So I'm not sure when I just smacked myself in the face. I'm not sure when I will get started on this, but I'll let you guys know. Hopefully by tomorrow we will have an update. I'm going to try and read 100 pages, and then so I'm on 167 chapter 25, so we'll have to get to 267, which is a lot, and this font is just messing with my eyes. But this is where we're at. This is a long update. My videos are just progressively getting longer, I swear, because I just talk so much. That's kind of what I wanted to say. I need to obviously get changed and get myself going for the day. I need to have breakfast still, so yeah, I'm gonna get on with that, and I will update you guys when we get 100 pages read. everyone. Sorry I look like a mess. I literally washed my hair yesterday, but I did some exercise and my hair just went all frizzy, so I decided to pull it all back. So sorry about the way I look, and I obviously have no makeup on, but I thought I'd do a quick check-in because I said I would check in at page 267, but I actually got a little bit further. This is all we have left at the end of it there. I think I'm about 70% in, so I'm on page 341, chapter 45. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. So I'm on Christian's chapter right now. There were a few times where I thought maybe I should just soft DNF this because I really wasn't enjoying it. I was just really bored and the story was just moving really slow. I feel like this side of things is much more verbose and very wordy compared to Magnolia Parks. I don't know why. Even though with Magnolia Parks, I don't like her talking about fashion and brands and all of that because I just feel like it's too much, but I kind of just skim that part. But I find Daisy much more immature and her thought processes just don't make sense to me personally, and I guess it's because of the way she was brought up and how she grew up. I'm slowly starting to enjoy it a little bit more. I think once I hit the 60% mark, it got a little bit better, and now I'm curious because this is the side of things that we didn't know in Magnolia Parks. I feel like the first half of the book we kind of knew what was going on, I think, but once Julian and that whole situation happens in the previous book, I think that's where it kind of hooked me in. And now knowing how Julian feels, how Christian feels, Daisy I'm still not completely sold on. She's not my favorite. I really do prefer Magnolia. I just like her charisma and she's not as whiny. She just wants to be well liked, and I like that character arc of her, where as Daisy I don't love it. I find her really egotistical and yet she's insecure, so like it doesn't make sense. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't enjoy Daisy. I'm not sure if I will continue her books after this. I think once I read the last Magnolia book, I'll probably be done with the series personally, but I mean, only time will tell. I'm not even done with it. I'm going to go ahead and finish this, hopefully today or tomorrow, and then I will close up this video. Hi everyone! We finished. We're finally finished. I didn't think I'd be able to do this, honestly. I was getting slumpy at the end over there, but I did it. I am so excited. So the last book we had to finish was Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. And as you guys know, because you watched this whole video, hopefully, the first half of the book, I wasn't invested. I was so close to DNFing it. I literally didn't want to read it anymore. I had no motivation to pick it up, and I kept, dragging my feet about it. But the last like 40% of this book, it hit. So maybe like the last 150 pages were actually my favorite because it involved obviously Magnolia. I love any that Magnolia is in. I love Julian and I love Christian. I love those three characters. They're my favorite: Magnolia, Christian, and Julian. I don't really love the rest of the cast. I love Tora as well. I didn't like her obviously in the beginning. All of us didn't, but she is pretty cool as well. But Daisy's not my favorite. I think she's 21, I just found out, but I feel like her character acts a lot younger, like more like a high school girl, the way she goes about being like spiteful and not thinking things through. I didn't feel like she represented a 21-year-old feelings. I know she's gone through a lot of trauma and whatever, but I don't think it excuses the way she behaves. I had a good time towards the end, and I think I'm going to give this a 4-star. Very happy about that. And the ending, oh my gosh, the ending. I can't wait to pick up the last book in the series. Well, the last Magnolia book at least. There's one more Daisy book coming out. Not sure how I feel about that. that, but I'm sure we'll probably give it a try. But I'm so happy that we did it. If you don't remember, we also, why would you not remember? I don't know what I'm saying right now. I keep stuttering as well. I'm gonna have to be doing a lot of editing for this because I don't know why, words are just eluding me and I can't focus. And my voice is hoarse. I think this is the first time I've spoken out loud today anyway. Anyway, this Woven Kingdom, we finished this one as well. 4 stars again. This was a reread for me. I really loved it. First time around, I didn't like it that much, but this time I had a more of appreciation for the characters and the way it was written for the characters. It made a lot of sense, like more of like a Regency type of retelling. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it and I cannot wait for the second book. Obviously, we read Zodiac Academy. This one's getting a 3 star for me. I think, yeah, 3 star. 3 stars on the dot because it was so verbose. It was just so wordy and it didn't need to be. I feel like we could have got to the point a lot quicker. I was bored. I was bored for at least like maybe 80% of that book was really boring. I wanted more of like the romance and stuff, but all the messing around and bullying and stuff, it's getting old very quickly. We had like copy and paste for the last 3 books with like slight little things that are like tweaked and are exciting. But other than that, I didn't love this. I'm not sure if I will read the rest of the series. If I do, it will probably be during my own time and not on my channel because I don't like reading bad books, but I obviously we don't know. We don't know when we're going to get a good book, but I'm so happy that I finally completed these books. I've been in the middle of them for quite some time. Those are all the books I needed to finish. I just started a new one that I'm kind of in the middle of and it's another reread. So yeah, we're not including it in this video. But with that being said, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Click the bell icon for notifications every time I upload and I'll see you guys all in my next one. Bye guys.